What's up, fight fans? It's your man Tijon, and get ready because it's another supercharged episode of the Rundown. All right, guys. So on this episode of the Rundown, we're going to be covering SmackDown, of course. And man, this one was a fun one. I got to say, I had a lot of fun with this one. It was great. A lot of stuff happened. So we're going to definitely talk about Brock's invasion of SmackDown. Then we're going to talk about Sasha Banks on fire, of course. And last but not least, I do want to talk about there's so much to choose from. Let's say let's go with Ricochet's triple threat match now. That's another big one. So let's get right into it, shall we? All right. So like I said, man, Brock invades SmackDown, making up all coming out with all of his promises that he's been saying. You know, he wants to get at Roman Reigns in any way possible, especially after everything that he pulled at MSG. He is not letting Roman Reigns rest at all. Like, he is not playing with this man. So you see him backstage eating food, drinking champagne. He literally trashes the place, but you'll see that later too. But getting to the first match, Shinsuke Nakamura facing Jimmy Uso. Things immediately got started as soon as they get in the ring. I mean, Shinsuke and Boogs beat their asses. You see Rick Boogs doing his famous military presses like it's nothing. But when that match actually starts, we finally see Shinsuke Nakamura like back to his old self, I would say. He's beating the crap out of Jimmy. It was really dope. And aside from all the like outside distractions that were happening with Jay, he was really winning this match. And of course, Jay tried to take Rick Boogs' guitar from him to, give it to Jimmy to beat Shinsuke with. And Rick Boogs was not having that. Slammed him into the corner. They're like, get up out of here. Yeah, you got to pay for that one. And Shinsuke ends up getting the win. Pretty decisively, too. I love this. This is going to be a fantastic match going into WrestleMania. There were a lot of sneak peeks of what we can expect at Mania next week. So I'm excited, and I know a lot of people are as well. And how about this, man? This is one of the things I may have covered on the headlines I was thinking about, but it was so short. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss looking a little iffy. They're not in sync anymore. It's clear. I think Happy's starting to get annoyed with Madcap Moss. One bad joke is all it took. And Madcap joked about Happy Corbin going bald, and yeah, you could just see it was like, yeah, not feeling it. So I don't know, man. Not looking too promising between the duo. So that'll be interesting. But next up, Kofi Kingston comes out and is supposedly supposed to have a match with Ridge Holland. But he comes out and is like, oh, no. That's not what I meant when I said that you'll face the New Day tonight. You'll be facing none other than Xavier Woods. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. And this one was a quick match. Xavier Woods, man, was doing pretty well. He feigned an injury, though, and that kind of slowed the match a little bit because, Ridge is like gloating and whatnot, and he's like talking his trash, getting at Kofi. And when he's ready to basically come back and fight, Xavier just rolls him up in a pin and wins the match. Super quick match. Pretty sneaky. I know that they hated it. I mean, Ridge, Sheamus, and Butch were pissed, man. But it's about time somebody got back at them for the nonsense and all the shenanigans that they do. So, F it, man. Whatever. A win is a win, and I liked it. But next you see Roman Reigns is in his Suburban driving to the Barclays Center, and he's letting Brock know, if you're still there, by the time I get there, it's not only going to be a repeat of MSG, but it's going to be worse for you. So, those are some pretty heavy words. So that's what we came to expect. But next we saw Ronda Rousey come out and talk about, her ongoing feud with Charlotte Flair. She's pissed off about all the attacks that have been going on. Charlotte Flair's been embarrassing her, if we're being completely honest. So she's just now, she's done with it. She's calling out Charlotte Flair, promising to tap her out and snatch that belt from her. But she wants a match right now. Calls her to the stage. She's nowhere to be found. Charlotte Flair's actually out, not even there. Appears on the screen and is like, you really think you can call me out? You are the contender. She's speaking facts, honestly. She does not have the power to call out Charlotte Flair. She's not at Ronda's beck and call. She's the champ. So, she basically tells Ronda to know her place, and Ronda just tells her straight up, I'm me, I'm the legend. I snap people's arms for fun. Goes on this rant about how she's been breaking people's arms and loved it since she was 14, has lost count. Charlotte doesn't care. She doesn't give a hell about anything that she's saying. And I mean, the hardest line that Ronda Rousey actually said, though, was also probably the truest. She just tells her, if Charlotte Flair beats Ronda Rousey, that'll be the biggest win of Charlotte Flair's career. But for Ronda Rousey, if Ronda Rousey wins, that's just going to be another name to the list. And that's facts. Ronda Rousey's career has been basically cemented. So, not mad at that last line, and that kind of got under the skin of Charlotte Flair. But next up, now this was pretty interesting developments happening here. Ricochet basically took on Los Lotharios. So he first had a match against Angel. This was a championship contenders match for his Intercontinental belt. Angel was beating him down, bro. Like, it was pretty bad. Angel was crushing him. But, to Ricochet's credit, anytime Ricochet tried to get anything going, Humberto was right there to stop that from happening. So, as you see from this distraction, Angel just rolls him up in a pin, gets the win. Ricochet is pissed because he's like, you're not about to do me dirty like that. Like, if it wasn't for that, like, we had a good match going. And so basically, he calls out Humberto and tells him, since you like to distract and disrupt, why don't you come take this L that your cousin was about to take? So their match starts. But this time, Ricochet is on fire. And Ricochet was really crushing this man. I got to say, he was beating him inside and outside the ring. Angel tried to do some distractions. And, like, he did the same thing, basically. Same kind of distraction, but this time it didn't work. Ricochet did not get pinned, and instead he dives onto Angel to let him know, like, I'm not having these distractions, not this time. But he fails to get back in the ring. He takes the L by count out. And you see that little hand under the ring? Guess who that is? That's Angel. He snuck under the ring. Very sly, like, very cool. I gotta say, I thought this was pretty funny. Sneaks under, keeps him down, and then hands Ricochet his second consecutive L in like 15 minutes. And now we're gonna see a triple threat match between Ricochet, Angel, and Humberto for that Intercontinental title. That's a really cool development. So I think that's at WrestleMania. Super fun. And of course, with that segue, Sami Zayn, of course, had to talk about his upcoming match with Johnny Knoxville, made a really bold claim saying that this is going to be the most bloody match. Like, there's going to be more carnage than we've ever seen at WrestleMania. I don't really believe that. I don't think anybody really believes that. But, with Johnny Knoxville, I mean, this is the Jackass King. You never know. It could be true. But next up, Austin Theory bitch slaps Pat McAfee's headset off in the middle of him doing commentary. Just out of nowhere, bro. Like, this was so unwarranted. And then he pulls the punkest move ever, runs all the way out of the arena, goes all the way backstage right to his daddy, Vinnie Mac. And so Pat McAfee's now pissed because he can't get to him because his boss is right there. So, he bangs on the door and walks away. Real punk move by Austin Theory, man. Gotta say, but kind of funny. I laughed at it. Next up, fatal four-way match. This was probably the best match of the night. Gotta say, Sasha Banks, Rhea Ripley, Queen Zelina, and Shayna Baszler in a fatal four-way match. Super dope. Queen Zelina did the smartest thing of the night, ran out the ring and just watched for like a good portion of the night. And so did Shayna Baszler, like you see her there. But Queen Zelina, of course, has to stick her nose in it and is pulling Sasha Banks off of Rhea Ripley as they fight because, Rhea and Sasha don't care. They'll scrap regardless. Then Naomi gets involved. And when Naomi gets involved, everybody gets involved. I mean, it's just chaos outside the ring, inside the ring. And Zelina basically like went in there and started fighting. But Sasha Banks hit like probably the coolest move that I've seen this week. Gets Queen Zelina and Shayna Baszler in this headlock for a while. I thought it was over until Rhea Ripley breaks it up. We saw a bunch of bigger moves happening well, not bigger, but also big moves. This was the biggest move of the night, in my opinion. But it all, didn't last up to Sasha Banks once again getting that headlock on Queen Zelina and tapping her out. So Sasha walks out with the win. This was a great preview for that Fatal 4-Way tag team match that we're going to see for the women's tag team title at WrestleMania. Super excited for that. But next up, the last thing that happened, the last craziness before WrestleMania, I'm assuming, we see Roman Reigns has arrived to the Barclays Center, but Brock is nowhere to be found. They just show on the screen that, he just trashed the backstage, but where is he? Cut to his Suburban. Brock Lesnar takes a pickaxe and just destroys destroys Roman Reigns' Suburban. But, he kind of laughs it off. Roman is like, I got like 10 more of those. I'm rich. Nobody cares. And plus, you don't get weapons at WrestleMania. He's like, yeah, that's true. Brock kind of laughs it off and then sneaks into the arena through the crowd, grabs a chair, stands on top of the commentator's table, and you see the security going crazy. Roman and Paul looked like they were going to piss themselves. It was pretty funny to watch. But do you really think that this security, these tiny humans compared to Brock, are going to stop Brock from getting in that ring? Absolutely not. I mean, he lays absolute waste to the security who's just doing their job. I hope they all got paid a little extra after last night because they got their asses beat. And then by the time, though, Brock got into the ring, the Usos came out and pulled Roman and Paul out of there, and they just run off, tail tucked between their legs as usual. Man, I just want to see Brock get some kind of payback for all the nonsense that he's had to endure. But Brock is pissed and just takes all his frustrations out on those poor security guards. It's so unfortunate for them. But hey, that's your job. You chose to stand up against somebody like Brock Lesnar. You're going to take that ass whooping. And of course, he stands up in all his glory with that chair and his belt. He really took over SmackDown. He was the biggest thing that happened. You know what I mean? For the night. Gotta say, he took over. He did what he was supposed to do, and he made his name bigger than Roman that night. But Roman isn't having it. He's pretty pissed off and says he will be acknowledged by Brock as the Universal Champ at WrestleMania. So let's see if that actually happens. Only time will tell, and the time is coming up. But before we end it, I gotta give my props to Triple H, man. I was hurt yesterday when I heard the news, but everybody expected it. He's officially retired from any in-ring performances. But man, what a career! He really he was a staple for especially people like me growing up watching it. I don't know anybody who didn't do the water trick where you just spit out all the water, especially in the shower or at the pool. Come on, man. This guy was iconic. Still is iconic. So, salute to Triple H. But, all right, man. That was the episode. So let's get right into the ratings. So you already know how we do it. 5, fight forever. 4, this is awesome. 3, you still got it. 2, what? And 1, boring. Don't watch. You're better off watching me or some of my colleagues, man, because we do it better. But I feel comfortable giving it a 3. It was fun. This was a fun episode. A lot of build up to what we're going to see at WrestleMania. I don't have too much to say about it other than that. It was really cool. A lot of story. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I'm like, okay. So I see a little previews about here and there of what we're going to see at WrestleMania. That's all I can hope for. I don't want anybody to hurt themselves before the biggest show in the Wrestleverse this year. Come on, man. Yeah. 3. Easy 3. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. If you liked this, Keith, come on, man. The seconds. You guys kill me in the comments. But if you like what you see, check us out on, all of our platforms, Twitter, Instagram, all that. And also, take a moment, leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And for full-length podcast reviews of your favorite wrestling shows, check out the All Real Crew podcast. We're having an episode tonight. Me and my boys, Noah and Jamil. Also check out Kick Ass and Coffee. and check out our top 10 Wrestleverse moments that we're going to be doing all throughout the WrestleMania week. So yeah, man, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait. I know y'all can't wait. But until then, guys, we'll just have to, be just a little bit more patient. Until next time, though, guys, this is your boy Tijon. Keep it real.